Hello, welcome to Student Voice. I'm Chris White. Today we're talking about movies, how COVID has affected them, and our conversations about them. With us today are Noah Stiles and Logan Rigsby. So, what movies have you recently seen?
I've been rewatching a bunch of stuff, but the best thing I've seen recently is Werner Herzog's Into the Inferno documentary about volcanoes and how, for some reason, people live way too close to them. Highly recommend it. What about you, Logan?
I would say my favorite movie of the past 6 months to a year. I would say two favorites that stick out. Probably Uncut Gems. Adam Sandler and A24, which is the production company that's like on fire right now, made a really incredible movie.
And the
With that
Rafifi
one,
brothers.
anxious and nerve-ridden the whole time. Also, speaking of A24, one of my other favorite movies this year, which some people didn't like it, but I really enjoyed it, was Midsummer, which is kind of like a fun kind of horror flick. And it was really good as well. It's about these teens that go to the Midsummer Festival in Sweden, and then some really funky stuff, really crazy stuff happens. That's probably two of my favorite movies I've seen in the past year, though. Yeah.
The Rafifi brothers and Ari Aster have just been completely knocking out of the park for like 5 years.
Absolutely. Aster's incredible, and Hereditary before that was so good.
Oh, and one of the best movies of the horror movies, at least of the past 10 years, for sure.
100%.
What about you, Chris? What was the last thing you saw?
Literally, I don't really watch movies all like that. So, like, the last movie I did go see was Sonic the Hedgehog. Which it wasn't bad. It was more towards a kid's audience, but like I grew up on Sonic, so I was like, you know what?
Yes.
Might as well go ahead and go see it.
I grew up on the Sega Genesis, so I should probably see it too.
Yeah. How has COVID been affecting your life lately since Chat State's back in session?
For me personally, at least about movies, it's made it to where I'm in a constant loop of not watching anything new and rewatching stuff that I find comforting. Like I've watched RoboCop and Pandemic and God, I'm completely forgetting the name of a movie I watched literally earlier today. But yeah, I've just been watching stuff on repeat for some reason.
Well, since we're on the topic of
it's like comfort watching, like comfort food, but it's cinema and TV.
Yeah, knowing exactly how it's ending, like there's no surprise. Oh, Inherent Vice, that's the name. Paul Thomas Anderson's Inherent Vice.
I've been watching The West Wing again, and I think it's just kind of like relevant right now with everything happening with the election, and it's fun to rewatch that and really see what leadership looks like when it comes to country's problems, because barring getting into a political discussion, both sides haven't really shown any leadership in decades, in my opinion. So depending on who you root for, and it doesn't even matter. I think that we're looking for some leadership right now, and it's been fun watching the West Wing and seeing like what real leaders do and the hard decisions they make, and how much that tolls them, how much that like worries them, because a lot of people are affected by people's and power and the positions they make like that. So The West Wing has been fun to watch. It starts in 1999, so it literally starts before 9/11. So it's a bit dated, but most of the references that they kind of joke, they're quick. So the whole show is actually, it's not too dated. It's actually a really fun watch still. That's like my comfort go-to. And then BoJack Horseman on the whole other side of that. It's just funny and good animation.
It already hit his last season, didn't it?
Yeah, it is. It got really depressing for a show about alcoholism and depression even.
Yeah, touches on a lot of real problems that we have in society, and it's some episodes are just dark, and then it just ends, and the credits come up, and you're like, wow, I feel weird.
Yeah. Well, since we're on the topic of movies, if you could make a movie at Chat State, just about Chat State, what would you make it about during this whole pandemic? Because you see everything's pretty much empty. You'll probably see like one person on one side of the building, then the rest of it's just empty, and then you go to the other side, it's like, oh, hey, you're here too.
Probably.
It's a good question.
for me personally, something a little sadder, a little slice of life. It's about people trying their best and almost succeeding, but not quite making it.
Yeah.
Sort of.
I'd probably make one, probably a horror movie, because it's pretty much like a ghost town. You can find parking anywhere now.
Yeah,
compared
that
to
has
like
been
last
amazing.
semester, it was like you had to park over there near the dam, and it's like, well,
At least one
Make it
good
or
thing
break
came out of this.
yeah.
What if we did like a recreation of Where Is Everyone? Twilight Zone's first episode ever, where he comes to the town and everyone's vanished, but like everything's still going.
Ugh.
Like
Yes.
everything's on and the power's on and like everything's like there, but no one's around. And he just like walks through this town and slowly loses his mind. So you could probably do that like on campus, like
I think people are just doing that on their own.
it's
Yeah.
kind of just happening. Where is everybody?
Well, that's it for this episode of Student Voice. Thanks for watching.